So we have Oscar Duarte coming out explaining the situation. I was definitely talking about this recently for about 2 months before he even said anything. I was just wondering because he recently fought Ryan Garcia, so I was like, man, I wonder why I'm not hearing much about how he feels about the whole situation. And then I thought about it. He was definitely somebody who was recently. He was discussing the fight they had recently, and just talking about how he showed up and how he looked before it actually happened. And that's pretty, obvious to me what I saw. But a lot of people haven't really spoke about the similarities between the whole situation. To be honest with you, I don't know if explaining that would even make a lot of sense, because if I was to explain the whole situation, people, I don't think they really cared about it. But Oscar Duarte, he comes out and basically said the same thing I said. Just he looked different in the fight when I seen him, and it wasn't really the same as far as before the weigh-in, at the weigh-ins, after the weigh-ins. Just wasn't the same. And we don't have the same articles out right now. The video, I don't know if it's still up when he was explaining all this. Maybe it was taken down. I don't know. But I'm just speaking on overall, so this is all allegedly. But yeah, I definitely know that Oscar Duarte, because it changes a lot when you really look at it. Because I said this a couple of weeks ago, that I kind of felt bad about Oscar Duarte taking that knee and not getting up, and me saying that he kind of quit by not getting up on that from that knee. Because if I had to say the same thing, if I say the same thing about Ryan, I got to say the same thing about him. But overall, if he was fighting a guy that was on PEDs allegedly, then that changes the situation. Obviously, that's his stablemate. From what I've heard, was no drug tested for that fight. So I haven't heard anything about somebody getting caught or looking to be caught on anything. But that whole situation is pretty wild to me. It's been wild since the beginning, but I've crossed there. I went through everything. Like, with Oscar Duarte saying what he said, I did a whole live on this a couple of times. He was different, man. At the end of the day, like, I don't know what people want to. My thing is, like, they've been talking about PEDs for years, like, just putting it in our faces. They could have been quiet about this stuff all the whole time. They didn't want to really talk about it in boxing or anything else. But they made documentaries and everything talking about this kind of stuff. So I don't understand that. Like, mainstream. We're not talking about, like, low budget. So I don't understand, man, this whole situation. At the end of the day, like I was saying, Oscar Duarte is a good fighter. If you see what he did against Jojo Diaz, he's not an easy fighter. So, kind of confuses me with the whole situation. And if you look back now, probably be a different fight with Oscar Duarte if they do drug testing. Probably would be. At the end of the day, I know he feels that way, so. And that's the blemish on his record, because he's a very good fighter. I tried to tell people a long time ago that I haven't heard anybody say he's a bad fighter either. So that's another thing. He's out of that mold, like a lot of those smaller stature guys, like Nick Ball, Duarte. You could throw Eastside Cruz in there. Yeah, those smaller stature guys, they can basically go back and forth and tussle. But for him going down with that body shot, it changes a lot, man. Especially when you look at his physique, then 3 pounds over. Then he's looking at how it looks the fight after, and he's like, the similarities, just as far as the performance. And he's like, man, You know, what was I up against? So you can only question that. It's only human to question, like, what was I up against? And we don't know. We don't know what he was up against. So that's what we're trying to get down to right now. We're trying to see what Duarte was against. And he was just saying, man, I just did a video on this. I'm telling you, I don't put out anything that where I'm trying to destroy somebody or expose them. That's not what boxing is about. That's not what I'm about. But I don't like the narratives that fans is coming up with. It's like the narratives that fans are coming up with is becoming mainstream news. And we gotta think about that. That's narratives that fans are coming up with. I don't know, so it's kind of extreme, man. But Oscar Duarte, he put everything on blast, man. Let it be known. A lot of people not really thinking about the scenarios of everything that Ryan Garcia did within the past 12 months. Well, over past 12 months. If you go back to the Tank fight, you can say 12 months. But that whole situation turned for the worse. It hasn't been good since he got in the ring with Tank. It was too early, man. One thing I learned about this whole situation is we can't be trying to force these young guys into a situation if they ain't ready. Ryan Garcia said over the years he wasn't ready. And we ain't even talking about I'm not even talking about for as far as the win or the losses. I'm talking about as far as when he does win and have a big win, will he be able to handle it? And from what we're seeing right now, no, he can't handle it, man. And we don't know how much damage he's caused since the fight with Tank. Was it the Duarte fight a different situation? That's being looked at right now. And I've said that recently. I think I'll go back later on and do a review because I'm coming up on 1 year since I started the channel, so I'm gonna do a review over some big things I said earlier before they became popular opinion. But one of those is definitely that Duarte and Ryan Garcia situation. That situation has turned into something else, so. And it's not really something that's my fault. I'm just reporting on it. It seems like some people are getting agitated by people talking about it. I mean, if we look at the sports stories, over the last couple of years, man, they try to push that PED stuff all in your face, like, just, try to force it on you as far as a conversation, especially in baseball. Barry Bonds, that was a topic for a lot of years. And now it's just like people don't want to talk about it. Oh, let's move on. Like, it was never a topic of conversation for a lot of people for a lot of years to just sit back and talk about. But now, all of a sudden, people feel some type of way. And this dude going out here messing up careers. You got fighters that don't want to step in the ring with him. A guy like Isaac Cruz is like, I would not step in the ring with that guy right now. For you to even ask me that lets me know that you don't know what you're talking about. To even give that guy the option of stepping in the ring, which is insane. But it definitely shows a lot, though, with the whole Ryan Garcia situation. That he got a lot of things that can unfold from now until he comes back from suspension. But for the way Duarte is getting, I'm not gonna put too much because I've already said a lot about that. But the way Duarte is just, I was wondering what he was gonna say. I don't know if the video's up. It might not be up no more, but it was up. But he was mentioning some things that definitely make a lot of sense. I was saying, especially about the body, about him being fat, losing weight. I didn't really think about all that. I didn't really get into that. I didn't really get into the size difference early on. I was just thinking more so of the part that a lot of people didn't understand and the similarities. So I was more so thinking of that than anything else. That's what I was thinking about. But Ryan been running loose for a while now. And I don't know what's to blame, who to blame overall, because it's his actions, so you can only blame him. But he been running wild for a minute now, and he can't really handle everything that's going on. I think the loss was very difficult for him. That's why I have no, people weren't really laughing at that, so I don't understand why people are laughing now and when other people lose. If you're just laughing when certain people lose, okay. That's a whole different ball game. That's not something I can really entertain, but overall, Ryan, he can't handle the loss, man. That loss from Tank, it did a lot. I don't think he'll be able to bounce back. See, because the way Duarte looking at it, and I'll be thinking the same thing about Duarte. Hey, man, I just fought him. I just fought this guy recently. So Duarte, he had a lot of opportunities ahead of him, especially if he would have pulled off a Ryan Garcia victory. And if you go back and look at the fight, the man was in the fight. I mean, we're talking about in the fight. And this is all allegedly. You know what I'm saying? I can't really confirm because I think some things have been moved around. But Duarte basically said that he feels like performance-enhancing drugs definitely help performance. I know a lot of guys recently were saying, it helps performance. It's for performance, So I know a lot of guys recently been saying, oh, this, and this. Come on, man. Like, if you look at Duarte, you can tell, bro, be in the gym. He be in the gym for real. So the muscles he has on him is natural. That's why I was impressed with him. Like, oh, man, he's in the gym. He can box, punch. And he has, like, physically, you know what I'm saying? He's maxing out, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. Very impressed by this guy. He's putting in work. Then you got another guy over here taking PEDs. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, I've seen everybody have the same type of energy for other athletes over the years. And I mean extreme behavior. Every comment section, oh, PED user, for certain guys over the years. Constantly. Just heard people accusing Jake Paul of being on PEDs. But guys who's actually failing aren't. Come on. It's getting out of hand. So yeah, Oscar Duarte, he's looking at the situation the same as everybody else. Actually, he's looking at it different. He's looking at it the way I'm looking at it because I feel like Oscar Duarte deserves a rematch. Oscar Duarte deserves a rematch. He definitely does. Him getting hit on his knee, taking a knee like he did, that definitely makes sense now. He ain't never been hit like that before. I mean, seeing him and Devin Haney get put down like that, nah. I was questioning it, but everybody else wasn't questioning the whole situation with Duarte. See, that's how much of a real journalist and analyst I am. I went back and said, hey man, maybe Duarte took a knee for a reason. I had to go back and look at Ryan's physique. It just ain't look right. You know what I'm saying? And they're talking about certain guys and weight bullies. Like, imagine if somebody called Duarte or somebody a weight bully after they sat in here and went in the ring with a guy with possibly used PEDs. So yeah, he's gonna be in a situation now where he's like, oh yeah, I gotta do drug testing now. This is serious. Yeah, it's serious. You can go out there and get embarrassed, and these fans don't care. These fans are gonna sit there and laugh at you with everybody else. They don't care if somebody's using PEDs. What? PEDs? That's not gonna change their mind about how they feel about someone losing. And when you look at how Devin Haney took that loss, hey, PEDs, with PEDs, without PEDs, that could be the difference in the fight. Look at Duarte, said the same thing about him. So a lot of people don't want to actually have that conversation no more. It's kind of dying out now because a lot of people embarrass themselves. They think that the only conspiracies in the world are boxing and everything else, all that weird stuff. I don't know what's up with that. I don't even know where that conversation came from. Oh, well, it came from Ryan Garcia saying all the stuff he was saying, but yeah, Duarte, man, he definitely needs a rematch, man. Drug testing, Olympic style. Like, I think he needs. People say, oh, well, Devin Haney needs to get a rematch. Nah, Duarte needs to get a rematch, too. It ain't just him. And he's explaining why. And Duarte is a pretty big guy. I mean, for the weight class. As far as his size and everything else. Like, he's in the gym, like I said. He earned his. He ain't sitting around, yeah, he earned his. So you can tell with Duarte what he put in. But these other guys, man, come on. They aren't putting in the work like that. These guys are drinking and doing all this other stuff, smoking, and then turning around, taking some enhancements to get right for the fight. And people say it don't matter. And Duarte is explaining right now, man, that stuff do matter, man. It's helping guys out. It's pushing guys ahead. The same type of stuff y'all saying that's not. These guys getting help from having their best wins, career wins off of, after having career losses. Looking the absolute worst. Then you turn around looking your absolute best. That's why you don't hear a lot of names shouting out certain guys to fight, because they like, I don't know if this guy's taking something or not. I don't know who's taking what right now, so maybe this. That's all I want to know, because after this time, I don't want to hear nobody complaining about no PEDs. I don't want to hear nobody complaining. I know somebody recently that fell. I'm like, I don't feel like it. People don't care no more. I don't want to hear no conversation about it. And that's what it is now. Welcome to the new world. It's the new world now. Y'all don't care about PEDs? Okay, cool. And that's why Oscar Duarte looking around like, wow. My fight was pretty close, and it was close. He was up on the cards doing some work. Ryan was turning his back and everything. Should have been disqualified immediately. So yeah, it definitely shows a lot, man. It's not a good situation to have yourself in if you're a guy like Oscar Duarte, but you know, these fans think they know it all, so you gotta go along with that. They think they know everything. But we'll see though in the future. But Oscar Duarte, he's gonna put in a lot of work, and you know, feel bad for him. I said it already. I did a video about it. You know, got a lot of flack for telling the truth about the situations. But you know, people don't understand, you know, the risks that you take when it comes to certain conversations in boxing. When it gets really, really dangerous, they don't understand how serious it really gets. They think the sport is just some kind of game, you know. Guys just get in the ring and punch each other, and that's it. But it's a lot more than that, though. A lot of these people do not understand. The sport is a lot more than just getting in there and punching. That's why I say they need to leave the business alone. If people would just leave the business alone and don't comment on it, everything will be all right, to be honest with you. Just don't comment on the business and stay out of it. And respect everybody's privacy, and it'll just be like that. But to be honest with you, shoot, the real victim, people talking about they set up Ryan Garcia. Shoot, Ryan Garcia, I ain't gonna say he set up nobody, but if anybody would have been set up, it would have been Duarte. But yeah, that's all I got. Like and subscribe.